Well, that's the season, folks. That is the 76ers season. What a terrible way to go. What a terrible way to go. Leaves such a bad taste in your mouth. You get blown out in the second half. You come out with that piss poor performance out of the half. Embarrassing. Just absolutely brutal. Harden was terrible. Embiid, after a really good first half, basically just did all he could at that point. Tyrese Maxey, not good again. Tobias Harris, not good again. Not having Danny Green hurts. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. It just looked like there was no effort again. No effort once again. And that's a problem. That was a major problem in Game 5. And that showed that it was a major problem once again tonight, in Game 6, in your home court. Not giving any effort whatsoever. That's bad. That is really bad. To not even, okay, you made it a one-score game in the half. You showed effort in the first half. Where'd it go in the second? Where did that effort go in the second half? I just don't understand. I don't understand how that entire thing just evaporates. I just don't. James Harden, I don't even think he threw up 10 shots in his game. He was throwing shots up in the first half, but ever since then, he threw up 9 shots this game. 9. You're not going to win when James Harden is throwing up 9 shots. Joel Embiid, Tyrese, Maxey, overall, they were your best players on the court. Joel Embiid, I just want no Joel Embiid slander, even though there's going to be, because that's how it works. People hate greatness, and Joel Embiid has no one around him. When Joel Embiid doesn't have a good game, there's no one around him for him to step up. No one. He's got a very young, very raw Tyrese Maxey. He's got a washed up James Harden. Tobias Harris was not good in the past couple of games. He's got to rely on Danny Green. And Danny Green's not to blame. He got injured. He was good this series. He was injured in the beginning of this game, could not return. Matisse Thybulle, Furkan Korkmaz, George Niang, all these guys off the bench. Shake Milton was probably your second, third best player on the court tonight. Had more points than James Harden entirely. Shake Milton had 15 points. He was the only one that actually hit his shots consistently. He was the only one that basically gave an effort in the second half. I just don't understand how. I don't understand how you can give that piss poor effort on your home court. I just don't. I completely just don't. That is an embarrassing performance overall. And that's another round 2. I don't even know if I want to call this a heartbreak, because last year probably was a heartbreak. The dagger against Toronto in 2019, yeah, that was a major heartbreak. But it's once again, this Sixers team can't get out of the second round. And granted, yes, I was not expecting this Sixers team to go and win anything. But we've seen everything since the James Harden trade. Anyone who blames Joel Embiid for what he's had to go through this year, putting up another MVP season, going through the entire Ben Simmons drama, once again, really just not having a team, having to carry the team basically through 75% of the season until the trade deadline. And same thing, he was one of the main reasons why we even beat Toronto in the first round. And then Pascal Siakam literally elbows him in the face, playing this entire series with a broken face, concussion, ligaments torn in his thumb. Dude is an absolute warrior. And I am not going to stand for any Joel Embiid slander. He does not deserve it. And then again, of course, the stereotypical Philadelphia toughness. Oh, if he's in the game, he's got to perform too, maybe his game is getting affected because he's injured literally 75% of his body. Maybe that's why he can't give a full effort. But he's still going out there. He's still trying to go out there and win for his team. And still he is the best player on the court. That is the bad thing. That is the bad thing. Because when Joel Embiid is the best player on the court and he's, 75%, 60% healthy, when no one else is out there to pick up the slack for him, that is a huge problem. Yeah, James Harden had his game in Game 4. Where has he been since? I just don't understand. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen this offseason, because there's going to be a ton of rumors regarding Doc Rivers. Is he going to go I would say it's a 75 to 80% chance he's gone. Is Daryl Morey going to bring back James Harden? I have no idea. Knowing the relationship between Daryl Morey and James Harden, I have no idea what's going to happen. Matisse Thybulle's got to go. You got to basically reshape this entire bench. You got to put someone next to Joel Embiid. You got to give him another star. Because James Harden just, even though the expectations coming off of the trade, you were coming off of the high, you were coming off of, the excitement from the trade, getting another guy like a James Harden on your team. And then you go through the experience, and then you see what it's actually like. Joel Embiid needs someone else. Tyrese Maxey, he's still very young. He showed his glimpses of greatness. He showed glimpses of him getting exposed. That's what's going to happen to a young player in these type of games. That's what's going to happen. For Tyrese Maxey, this is a learn and growth type of thing for him. You've shown us your greatness, and you've shown us at your worst. Find ways to learn from that and find ways to build off that to be more consistent. I'm not worried about Tyrese Maxey. I'm not putting any blame on Tyrese Maxey. James Harden, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen from that standpoint. Daryl Morey's got a lot of work to do this offseason. A ton of work. And I have no idea what's going to, I don't envy him whatsoever. I'm not sure what type of moves he's going to pull. I'm not sure what type of players he's going to try to bring in. I'm not sure how he's going to reshape this bench, because that's also another problem. The bench depth. The depth of this team is terrible. When you lose Danny Green, you're forcing Matisse Thybulle out there, and he's not going to give you any help. You're seeing Furkan Korkmaz out there, and Shake Milton. No, I'm not going to blame Shake Milton in this game. Shake Milton is just, for him to be your third best player on the court, that's a problem. That is a huge problem. You got to get someone else for Joel Embiid. You got to give him a second bona fide superstar, or just someone that could average 25 to 30 points a game, maybe over 30 points. I'm not sure how Daryl Morey's going to make that work. There's got to be something. Tobias Harris, he might be moved this offseason. For as great as Tobias was in these playoffs, he was not good in these past two games. But that's also granted the team basically itself wasn't good these past two games. The effort there was just goddamn atrocious. Doc Rivers, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Most people, I would think he's gone. I would most likely think he is gone, but all the rumors circling around his head and all the rumors tying him to Los Angeles, who knows? I think it's a possibility that he, does get fired or he leaves. I think it's a high possibility. Going to Joel Embiid just needs to, I don't know. I just don't know. And I haven't gone on basically of the game yet because honestly, the game was just dead. It was going to, you made a game in the first half. You made it a one-score game. What was it, 49 to 48? You had your moments and glimpses in the first half. Second half was just bad. Absolutely trash and terrible. That effort given out in that second half. But before I get into the rest of this, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to TTP Sports. And the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. Also, drop a like on the like button as well. I would definitely appreciate it a punch. So if you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome. Great or miserable, depending on the outcome. And if you are a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Basically, at this point for Philadelphia, get yourself some Philadelphia Phillies tickets because that's the only sporting event you can go to in Philadelphia now. So it's a free $20 in your pocket. Use that for parking, concessions, whatever you can think of. It's a great deal. Use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. I see some guys in the live feed right now. Tom says, let Harden walk. I appreciate all the guys that are in the live feed right now joining up the live stream. Mr. Double says, if we can get another player like Maxey next year, it would be ideal, plus a much better bench as they just fell apart in the playoffs. I definitely agree with you, man. I definitely agree with you. First half is close, but it still felt like we were behind. Yeah, it really felt like that. It kind of felt like a lot of the games, just in this series as well. I kind of felt like it was, are they... Because I tried to compare because I was live for the first half of this game, but just the way it was to only be a one-score game going into the half, it did not feel like that. It just definitely did not feel like that whatsoever, because the way you were struggling shooting, the way Miami was just hitting their shots, and I knew Miami wasn't going to be, that deadly, consistently throughout the game, even though they did finish the game 48% from the field. It's just Jimmy Butler was a difference maker. Strus went off this game. He did. Strus was great for Miami tonight, especially from beyond the arc. But just looking at a lot of the Sixers stats, they shot 41% from the field, 32% from three. They only went to the line 7 times. They barely went to the line at all tonight. They weren't getting the fouls. They just weren't going to the line. That was also a difference in this game. The Sixers were not able to go to the line whatsoever. Looking at the Sixers stats, Joel Embiid basically doing all he can at this point. 44 minutes played, 20 points, 7 of 24 from the field. He's throwing up all the shots in the world. You can literally just tell there's a lot of moments where he is airballing a lot. And it's just like at that point, Embiid just doesn't have it anymore. It's in the tank. And I feel for him. I definitely feel for Joel. I really do. 2 of 8 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He was one of the only ones to go to the line. He went there 4 times. Tyrese Maxey went there once. Matisse Thybulle went there once, and Shake Milton went there once. James Harden didn't go to the line once tonight. Same thing with Tobias Harris. Tyrese Maxey, 20 points in this game, 9 of 22 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. Just overall poor shooting. James Harden in his 43 minutes tonight, 11 points, 4 of 9 from the field. How are you only putting up 9 shots in an elimination game? I just don't understand that. How are you putting up 9 shots in an elimination game? I just don't understand that. I guess postseason James Harden reeled its ugly head. I guess that's a factor. I guess it definitely is. Tobias Harris, 14 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. 7 rebounds, well, 8 rebounds actually. Looking at some of the guys off the bench, George Niang in 15 minutes, absolutely terrible. Only put up 1 shot. He was a plus 11 somehow. That's shocking. Matisse Thybulle in 12 minutes, 3 points, 1 block, 2 steals. Shake Milton was great. 28 minutes, 6 of 8 from the field, 15 points, 3 of 4 from 3. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Isaiah Joe got a little bit of minutes. Furkan Korkmaz got 8 minutes in this game. It's bad. Just overly bad. Overly bad. I can't describe it. Scott says, as a longtime Sixers fan, 1983 was a long time ago. Well, I'll tell you there, Scott, I was not born in 1983. So I have no experience in Sixers championships whatsoever. All I have known was pain. All I have known is pain these past couple of years. Like, honestly, for me as a Sixers fan, I was too young, to witness the Allen Iverson days. I was born in 98. I'm 23 years old, turning 24 in a couple of weeks. I was too young to experience AI. Like, really, these past so many years with Joel Embiid has been, my Sixers basketball experience. I love Joel Embiid. I do. One of my favorite players of all time. He just needs someone else around him. And I feel for him so badly. Isaiah, what's going on, man? Haven't heard you from a bit. Mr. Double says Embiid is on life support and still doing better than most of the team. That is sad. Yes, it is definitely sad. Man's playing with a broken face and torn ligaments in his thumb and his shooting hand. Still putting up all he can. Still giving you 100% effort. Sadly, at this point, the injury is caught up to him, and it's affecting his play. Sometimes when you want your body to do something, your body just won't do it. And that's exactly what happened to Joel. Isaiah says, sorry, but go Suns. What are you going to do at this point? Tom says, trade Embiid. Why, Tom? Why? I want to hear this logical excuse to trade Joel Embiid. I want to hear it. And if there's an excuse about him, he flops too much, he's a loser, he hasn't won anything. If that's going to be your answer, like, I don't want to get into an argument tonight because I'm just too frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm upset. I'm pissed. I really don't feel like getting into a Joel Embiid argument with a lot of people. I just don't. Because Joel Embiid does not deserve it tonight. Man was literally the only reason you got through the second round in general. And it sucks. It sucks that he got elbowed in the face against Toronto. It sucks. Because honestly, even though at this point it's a hypothetical situation, if Joel Embiid plays in game 1 and game 2, maybe you win one of those games in Miami. And maybe you're looking at a different situation. Maybe you do win this series. But at that point, you're just playing hypotheticals. And it's not reality at this point. But still, that's gut-wrenching. to not have Joel Embiid in the first 2 games. Literally just Miami having gift wrapped at those first 2 games on a silver platter. Then you come back to the Wells Fargo Center, win those 2 games. Like, you get all that energy in the world. You get all that momentum. Where does it all go? Where does it all go from the rest of everyone? When Joel Embiid is out there giving you all the effort possible with all the injuries that he has, where's everyone else? Seriously, there is no one. Game 4 anomaly. Game 4 is the anomaly where James Harden went off. But where's everyone else been? When Joel Embiid has a bad game, or when he can't just do enough, where's someone else? And I feel like a lot of people are going to be blaming Embiid for the Danny Green injury. That was just a freak accident. That was a freak accident. I've been seeing all basically throughout the entire game. Oh, Joel Embiid flops too much. He does all this. He falls to the ground too much. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get into that crap. I'm just not. I'm just not going to get into that. Daryl Morey has a lot of work to do. Daryl Morey has a ton of work to do tonight. Well, not tonight, the offseason. I don't know why I said tonight. Maybe it's because I'm thinking because I got Phillies on that's starting like 20 minutes. So I'm thinking about that at this point. But this is just heartbreaking. It just is. I just don't know how you... I don't know. W says maybe some locker room stuff and just no one hyping each other up at all. But this is just a bunch of what ifs and maybes. Yeah, basically what it is. We don't know what goes on in that locker room. We don't know what goes on down there. I don't know how the energy was lost in these past couple of games. I just don't understand how it was. I don't know. Crushed. Just thinking about that effort you put out there on your home court. I don't know. I just want to see Joel Embiid win. I just do. The guy's been through so much. So much. Always nice chatting. Go Phil. Yeah, it's always nice chatting, Mr. W. Yeah, it's a tough night. It's another tough night for Sixers fans. We've been going through so much in the past so many years with this team. Heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And it's just the same crap again. But at the end of the day, still root for these guys 100%. Elite Kings Clash says Butler left for a better franchise. Simple as that. The Heat are better. I'm not going to deny any of that. Jimmy Butler went off this series. He did. Jimmy Butler was the difference maker for Miami in this series. And I've never said once that Miami's a bad team. Miami's a good team. I just thought they were a good matchup for the Sixers. But sadly, with the Joel Embiid injury, Miami just took advantage of that. And the Sixers, flaws, they came to haunt them in this series. Jimmy Butler went off. Jimmy Butler was a major difference maker. I love the way Jimmy Butler plays. I just don't know. As the bots are getting into my live feed. Is that a sign that you have made it when you get bots in your live feed? I'll try to remove those as quickly. Oh, God. James Harden played horrible tonight from Curvin. No excuses, no Kyle Lowry. I got nothing for you, man. When Joel Embiid is out there playing with a broken face, concussion, and torn ligaments in his shooting hand, and he's still your best player on the court, that's an issue. That is a huge issue. Elite King says he's a Heat fan. Don't pay Harden a penny. Honestly, at this point, I have no idea what's going to happen in this offseason. I don't know what Daryl Morey is going to do. I know the relationship between Morey and James Harden go all the way back to, the Houston days. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But signing him to a max contract is definitely an issue if that happens. It is. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm more on the side of not bringing back James Harden, trying to go out there and get another young superstar. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm not sure how Daryl Morey is going to do it. Elite Kings says Harden's all about numbers. At this point, Philadelphia is going through the James Harden experience. They have. The excitement during the trade deadline when that happened, was granted. The excitement was granted. And it's like at the point, I did see a couple of people say, "Oh, Philadelphia lost a trade." Honestly, at this point, for what Philadelphia gave up, I know you're like, yes, you gave up all of, you gave up Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and all that crap. Andre Drummond wasn't going to resign here at the end of the season. Seth Curry really wasn't a difference maker for Brooklyn. You also got rid of Ben Simmons and his divanness and his contract. Man hasn't played basketball in a year and a half. So, Kerbin says Joel Embiid got robbed of the MVP. I definitely agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. But at the end of the day, people will say that, oh, Joel Embiid is not playing good because he got robbed of MVP. No, he's playing with a broken face and torn ligaments in his thumb. His shooting hand specifically. That's what's affecting him. Not because he lost a fucking MVP, which he found out most likely weeks ago. I don't know. Why would it be affecting him now? I don't know. Tell that to the media. Tell that to the media and how they perceive things. Isaiah says, with the effort he put today, that'd be a JVR type contract. Oh, God. Don't bring up James Van Riemsdyk in this chat, Soto. Do not bring up JVR. Do not bring up James Van Riemsdyk. I want to see if there's anything from Doc Rivers. Okay, let's see if there's anything right here. Kevin Kinkeet just posted something on Doc. I want to share this to you guys. We can watch this, witness it together, so you guys can see it. So let's put this right here. The audio. Okay, the audio quality is just bad. Audio quality is just bad, everyone. Barely hear it. Or maybe it's because. Oh God! I'm gonna reshare this to you guys. I'm gonna reshare this to you guys. See what Doc Rivers has to say. I think my audio was just too low in general on my computer, so you guys can see it once again. Let me do this. So let me bring this here. I don't worry about my job, Howard. I think I do a terrific job, and if you don't, then you should write it, because I worked my butt off to get this team here. When I first got here, no one picked us to be anywhere. And again, this year, the same thing. So if that's how anyone feels, write it, and I'm going to feel secure about it. Results-based business. It is, but you don't do it every year. Every time you're wrong, should you lose your job? No. So it's the same thing, all right? But listen, if you believe that, then go with it. I know what I did this year, and I feel very good about that. But again, if you believe that, Howard, then you just run with it. You have to run. I did. I did. I still did. I just believe in our guys. That's my job as a coach. Oh boy. Oh boy, Doc Rivers. Oh boy, Doc. Doc, shut up. Doc, shut up. Oh God, Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers. Oh, this man's a joke. Doc Rivers is an absolute joke. Doc Rivers says he doesn't think about job security, says he worked his butt off and thinks he did a terrific job, and if you don't, then you should write it. Doc, just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Doc. Doc, shut the fuck up. I can't help but laugh. This dude's a joke. Every time the media gives him an honest question, they give him an honest, logical question. He just said, no. Everything we did, like, you guys know nothing about what we did. Like, no. Shut up, Doc. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, Doc. My God, this dude's a joke. He is a joke. Austin Krell from the Painted Lines just said James Harden says he will be here next year. I guess people take that as it is. So James Harden wants to be here. Depending on the contract. Let's see. Kervin says Danny Green he hopes Danny Green gets better. Wait, excuse me. Jesus. Elite King says, I agree Joel won the MVP, but winning is more important. Yeah, I agree with you on that point. At the end of the day, like, yeah, Joel Embiid did go up to the MVP, but also results do matter. But I'm also not blaming this on Embiid because man was playing with literally every broken limb in his face and thumb. Scott says, I hear what you're saying, and he feels the same way. Feels bad for Joel at all the whole time. Game 5 was embarrassing to watch. Yep. JD says this collapse was the least of his fault. Of all the collapses, James absolutely sold the Sixers a bill of false goods, and I say that as a Nets fan. Yeah, I'm not blaming it all. Like, that was not me blaming it on Doc. I just hate the way Doc treats the media. I sincerely hate how Doc treats the Philadelphia media when they're asking him legitimate questions. Like, legitimate questions that can be asked to a coach. It's just the way that he backfires on all of the media members. That's what I don't like. Like he brings this like whole high and mighty attitude, saying like, "Oh, I think my job is," like, dude, like, just these guys are trying to do their job. They're asking honest questions. Why are you throwing at them in their face when they're trying to do their job? I just don't like that from Doc. But the way the team is constructed is bad. They have no depth, and they have no one else besides like a very young and raw Tyrese Maxey to support Joel Embiid. JD says James Harden hadn't made more than 10 shots since January when the refs swallowed their whistles. This was bound to happen. He actually made Embiid more reliant on the line too much, in your opinion. Yeah. Well, Joel Embiid does go to the line a lot. Yes, because yes, he does get fouled a lot. That is the thing. But yes, going to the line, the foul calls were definitely minimal in the past couple of games in the series. Got to find ways. But I do think if Joel Embiid did not have a broken face and a concussion, not saying he would have went to the line more, but I think his shots would be better. I think he would make more of his shots. That's what I'm trying to say there. More quotes about James Harden saying he'll be here. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. Overly, entirely. It does. It's just so disheartening. It really is. I just feel so bad for Joel. He needs someone else. Like, for what this man has had to do to carry this team time and time again. Last year, he did it on a tournament. Excuse me. Did it on the bad leg last year. Now this year in the playoffs, he went into an injury-free. Then the ligament issue in his thumb came about, and then the concussion and the orbital fracture. And he still goes out there and tries to give you 110%. At the end of the day, body just couldn't do it anymore. And all the surgeries that he's most likely going to have this offseason, I hope he just doesn't. The man just needs to get healthy. That's it. He'll come back stronger next year. I firmly do believe that from Joel, but he needs more help. JD says we saw this play out in 2017. Harden maximized that style of play and saw it to its logical conclusion. It wasn't a winning style, but Embiid handed his team over to a disappearance act, and it showed. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. I just hate being this heartbroken. Austin Krell says Harden won on whether he's willing to take less than the max to stay long term. He says whatever it takes for this group to grow. Kervin says, you think the Sixers go after Damian Lillard or Beal next year or in the offseason? Daryl Morey is going to do something. Like, I don't, discredit Daryl Morey for, being quiet. He's going to do something this offseason to get someone else here. Like, Daryl Morey is going to make moves. He's going to make a bunch of moves. Does he go after a Bradley Beal? I'm not sure if he's going to go after a Damian Lillard because Lillard is so, determined to stay in Portland. Is Beal an option? It could be. The right moves on the table. Got to find a way. You definitely got to find a way. I don't know how you somehow don't involve Maxey in the deal. I'm sure he's going to try his hardest to keep Maxey. I'm sure he is because I would love Maxey to stay here because he's a player that you want for this franchise for the long-term future because he's going to be a great player in this league. And he's shown a lot of glimpses for how young this guy is, especially in the playoffs. Just got to find a way. Definitely just got to find a way. Not sure what's going to happen now. I'm not sure what's going to happen this offseason. Harden said he's willing to stay in Philadelphia for less money if that happens. How do you realistically even do that? Tobias' contract is an albatross, and he's doing the sunken cost facility with Harden. They're straighten up aren't enough movable pieces for the Sixers anymore. I don't know. I can't tell you that, man. I can't tell you how Daryl Morey is going to make these moves. I know he is going to make moves, but I'm not sure what moves he's going to make. I know he's most likely going to try to get Tobias' contract out of here. I'm not sure how he's going to do it though. Like I'm not the biggest expert on the moves in the NBA. I'm not sure how Daryl Morey can do it, but I know he's going to try to do something. I can't tell you that, but I know he's going to do something at least. I'm not sure what he's going to do, but he's going to try his ass off. That's what I can tell you. Tobias says lack of effort. No shit. What else? Harden says the last 2 years have been tough for him health-wise. He looks forward to having a summer to recover and get straight before coming back next year. Yeah. And the bots are back in the chat. I thought I blocked that user. Blah. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Kervin says trade Tobias to OKC. JD says he can make a couple of changes in the margins, maybe snag Covington, but there's no way to get your money's worth at this stage. For the Tobias contract, it is what it is. Yeah, man, I don't know how Daryl Morey is going to make the moves this offseason. It's going to be a very difficult process. I know that. A lot of big contracts on this team. For as good as Tobias Harris has played throughout these playoffs, he's still not worth the max contract type of, contract that he has. So, still very heartbroken, just very sunken in general. But I thank you, everyone, for joining this live stream. Everyone that joined up in the live feed. I want to hear the rest of your thoughts and opinions. If you joined it late or just you haven't joined it entirely, don't forget to leave all those comments and opinions down in the comment section below. I got to go watch the Phillies game, so don't forget to leave a like down in the like section as well. Don't forget to drop a like. I said that twice in a row. Don't forget to check out the painted lines I'm a part of. The links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Florida.pod merch website, flyers, nitty-gritty. All that stuff's down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you do is hit that sub button and also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek, guys. I'm heartbroken. We all are. But I will see you next time, guys. I'll try to pump up some more Sixers content maybe in the next couple of days just to, recap the season and stuff. But stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.